Alright, hey guys, it's Suzas. Uh, Sorry for my voice. I'm actually like a little bit sick. But I promised you guys that I'd make a tutorial video on like some things that go through my mind in combat and like to give out tips and maybe pointers to those who are trying to either get better at the game or just, just trying to like pick up their own style or whatnot. So I hope I can give you guys enough advice or tips in a sense to possibly guide you guys on your way. But so I'll start off with, like, the basics of essentially what's going through my mind. Um so first thing that comes to mind, well, the basic thing is control layout. When I first started playing, I had the default controls like every other Naruto player, but now I changed my controls. As you can see at the top left corner, my supports are triangle and circle. Oh my god, Suzas, that's so weird. Oh my gosh, what control layout do you use? I get that almost all the time whenever I'm playing a player master. Like, dude, what are you even using? And to be honest with you, my control layout is it's chakra is L1 and melee button is R1. That sounds extremely weird, I know, but I wanted to make my layout in a way where it's comfortable enough for me to pull off damage and just maneuver around the map freely and be able to anticipate things whenever I do need to. So this is just what's comfortable for me. I'm not saying that you guys should use this exact button layout, but I'm just saying this is exactly what's comfortable for me, and this is exactly how I play on the daily. So yeah, so that now that we have a button layout out of the way, in this video I'm gonna focus primarily on subs. Okay, so I cannot stress this enough for subs. The one thought that goes through my mind is don't get hit. Alright? Like, don't get hit. If you can avoid damage, I recommend that you avoid it, like, no matter what the cost. It doesn't matter how many subs you use. Like, well, I guess it does matter how many subs you use, but use them judiciously, but at the same time, use them to lessen the cost of damage that you're going to take inside the match. Like, for instance, I used to be a styler. As you guys can see in my channel, you're gonna see like a lot of like very old styling videos, like in Storm 3. And I don't know what it is, but like with stylers, we waste our subs, like not necessarily waste, but like we use up our subs pretty fast. And we use that in a sense to get like the surprise on our opponent, because normally the opponent is going to try and read your sub pattern, and what most players do, either good or bad, they tend to sub like really fast on like their first 3 subs, but then when they have their last sub, they hold on to it and either sub at the very end of the combo or sub on the second hit of a combo. And when you have that in mind, that's like practically your cheat sheet on when to dash or when to jump out of your combos and whatnot. And that's like that's killer, because you can literally pressure any opponent with just that bit of information. Just those 2 positions of when they sub, you can literally pressure them like all you want. But if you're fighting more advanced players, like per se Reanimation Hero or Hero of Tsukunomi or Dark Mask, one of them, let's say you're fighting one of them, you see what you're going to notice when you first fight them is that they're going to literally sub not everything, but anything that's going to leave you open for enough time for them to dash back and pressure you again. And because of this type of fighting style, no one is really ready to anticipate that, because reflexes aren't fast enough for you to keep up with that sub pattern. And what's also scary about that is that it's not even really a sub pattern in a sense. It's just a means of subbing in order to avoid damage. And like I said, don't take damage. Just keep that in your mind. Whether you guard on the ground or you guard in the air, I'll be more in depth with guarding in like the next video, but for right now it's just all about subbing. But remember, just keep this in your mind, don't take any damage. Like, okay, so let's say I'm comboing. I'm going to jump out of the combo and either guard or I'm going to dash back. But this is a computer and it cannot sub, so don't expect it to do anything. But if for instance you're inside the air or whatnot, like you're just like, you know, that was a fail. Okay, you're just air comboing and your opponent subs inside the air. What you're going to want to do is, if you know you can't react fast enough and dash back when they sub, you want to substitute when they dash at you in the air again, leaving them that open time period for you to dash them, or I don't know, do jutsu, do an ultimate, whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. But I recommend dashing back and like doing more damage so that you'll be on your game and you'd be able to dash them back again. Say they sub once again. So that's that for the air. But like for the ground, one habit that I usually do is I think like anyone who's fought me, they notice that I do this a lot, is usually after like the first hit, when someone hits me once, I usually sub it, and depending on the situation, I sub and then guard, or I either sub and then dash back immediately. But it all depends on like how fast my opponent's reflexes are. If my opponent's reflexes are really slow, I'm going to dash back and I'm going to continue my combo, and then I'm going to anticipate the next time they're going to sub by either jumping out or dashing or making space. So those are my three options: jumping out, dashing, or making space. One of those three, and I eventually get the jump on the opponent. But with all that in mind, you can also use to like pressure subs. You can like, okay, me being like a rush player and whatnot, I tend to do this a lot. Like, I don't know, I wish I could tell you guys why I do that. I don't know. I can't really explain that to you guys too much, but I'll tell you like how or why I started doing that. I fought. There's this player that I like really admire, and I've played him since Storm 2. Like this is like the first pro that I like ever fought, and I've idolized him like ever since I played Storm. His name is Riku. I don't know, like his PSN is JXV, I think, but he does this a lot, and like he always like he chains his first hit with an item, or chains it with like the guard break pill thing or whatever, or he chains it with the jutsu. It all depends on the situation, but he uses his first hit and like he utilizes his items so that he can apply pressure. So if you don't sub on the first hit, you usually sub on the second item. And what's really cool about that is that when you sub on the second item, you can do this and then dash them back. And when you do that, like they're gonna be caught off guard completely, forcing them to make another sub, because people are afraid to take damage in this game. So the more damage you apply to them, the more like tense they're gonna feel, and the more they want to sub quickly. See, what your goal is trying to get them to that last sub, and then even when you have them to the last sub, don't stop hitting. Like just keep on hitting, and eventually they're just gonna sub anyway because they're afraid of that damage. Like what you're trying to do is you need to have the mentality of a styler, but like the combat of like a competitive player. Like your competitive player side needs to be the side that's telling you to do all the damage, but then your styling side is the side that's telling you to just look flashy in order to scare them. Because most of the time you're not even trying to go in for damage. Most of the time you're just trying to make them scared. Like doing this scares them. Like being even near an opponent scares them. Like if you're like this close to an opponent, like say you're just hopping around or whatever, and you're just this close to them, they're gonna be really scared. They're gonna try and either combo you like in the air or something, and then when they completely miss, you can take the opportunity and dash them. So you can just combine so many like possibilities and whatnot to punish your opponents, and most of the time you won't even have to do anything to even try and punish them, because they try and punish themselves. Just being close to them enough just makes them freak out and like do stupid shit. So I mean, that's really just it for the subbing sense. The next video I'm going to just elaborate on guarding, and just ways that you can use your guard to evade critical situations, and using your guard to, in a sense, confuse your opponent and stuff. I'll go into detail with all of that in the next video, but I hope you guys like this one, and I hope you guys picked up some things. I hope when this series is done with like the tips and tricks, Suzas tips and tricks, or I don't know, whatever you guys want to name it. I just hope in the long run you guys get a feel of how I play. And I'll also be, I guess, talking about like basically my Storm career as it is as well. So in case you guys have any questions or answers, just leave them in the comments, leave a like, and I will see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video.